What's going on, everyone? We are currently watching Raising Kanan Season 4, Episode 9, before I even begin this video. Throughout Power history, in both the original Power and Book 2, Episode 9 has always been a major, series-altering moment. So this episode has a lot to live up to if it's going to be on par with either the original Power or Book 2. This was the episode in the original Power where Ray killed Rayna, forever altering the Saint family of Patrick. Additionally, it was the reason Tarek scored his first kill in the very next episode. This was the scene in Book 2 where Monet Tejada was killed, causing the Tejada family to be torn apart and her 3 children to go their separate ways. So will Raising Kanan continue the trend from Book 1 and Book 2, featuring a major death that could potentially change the Thomas family forever? Over the past few weeks, I've made a few videos about the possibility that Marvin will die in this episode. If you haven't already, check those out. Power Season 4, Episode 9 was also the first time Tommy met his father, Tony Teresi. We are aware that a face-to-face meeting between Unique and Kanan will take place in Episode 9 of Raising Kanan Season 4, which has been anticipated by fans for each of the previous 4 seasons. In the very first episode of the show, Kanan was at the bodega and looked out the window when Unique pulled up. The narrator, OG Kanan, stated that Unique was the largest Southside drug dealer at the time, and that you either wanted to be him or get along with him. This demonstrated to us that Kanan admired Unique. However, I believe Kanan leaned more toward wanting to be Unique when faced with the decision between being down with him or being him. Keep in mind that the sole purpose for which he was skimming money and depositing it in that storage unit was to generate his own re-up funds, so that he would not be required to work for any other company. He said he wouldn't have to work for Rock, Ronnie, or Unique. Basically, those were the drug dealers who had been running the South Side for the past 10 years. However, it appears that Kanan will need to settle down with Unique before attempting to defeat him after stealing that money. And given that Kanan still has a lot to learn, this might actually be a good thing. He could observe how Unique moves, learn what to do and what not to do. This brings me to a question. Will Kanan and Unique's relationship be built on truth or lies? Because Unique is the one who stole Kanan's money and killed OC. But OC was also the one who told Unique about the money in the storage unit in the first place. Unique is a guy who believes that what you see is what you get. He does not follow Power Law 3, which prohibits hiding one's intentions. So I think there's a chance he might admit to Kanan that he took the money and killed OC, just like he told Rock he was the one hitting her operation. Given that Unique would be acting in opposition to his mother, who has essentially lied to Kanan throughout his life, telling him the truth could actually earn him more respect. Therefore, Kanan may feel some way about that, but he also admires Unique more for being sincere. On the other hand, Unique might tell Kanan a lie about killing OC and stealing his money. Their relationship could then be built on lies, similar to Kanan and Tarek's relationship in Power, which began with Kanan lying and saying his name was Slim, even though Kanan was supposed to be dead. It wasn't until they had already formed a bond that Tarek learned the truth. Still, considering that Unique killed OC in front of a bunch of people and OC had talked about helping steal Kanan's money, it wouldn't be hard for Kanan to find out the truth if Unique does lie. There's also another dynamic. Although Unique is at war with Rock, he still loves her. He might like Kanan for this reason as well. Not to mention, getting close to Kanan is one of the best ways to hurt Rock. And Kanan still doesn't know that Unique and Rock were hooking up. But even back in Seasons 1 and 2, with Rock's first love interest, Symphony, Kanan and Symphony ended up getting along and becoming friends, even after Rock ended things with him. So I think history could repeat itself in a way with Kanan and Unique becoming friends. Most of you are aware of my belief that Breeze is unique. I've been saying it for years now. You can check my older videos. I've been saying Unique is Breeze since I started this channel back in August. In OG Power, Kanan told Tarek that Breeze was his friend. And like I said earlier, something major has to happen in this episode if Raising Kanan Season 4, Episode 9 is going to compete with the same episode in the other series. So could this be the episode where Unique is revealed as Breeze? Just like in OG Power when Tommy met Tony Teresi face to face for the first time, after it was revealed just a couple of episodes prior that Teresi was his father, which many of us already expected. Don't lie, tell me in the comments if you thought Teresi was Tommy's father before it was made public. As for Unique being Breeze, I feel like the show is going to drag that out and wait until one of the final episodes of the series to reveal it. But Unique has a problem. He doesn't have a plug. After Marvin killed Quan, Unique turned to Snaps and Pop, telling them they could get a piece of his business if they could arrange something with Stefano. Except for Rock's connection, Haffy, Stefano and the Italian mob also lack a plug now that Quan is dead. Rock has already threatened Haffy about backdooring her with the Italians. This was a major chess move by Rock, taking Quan off the board. It not only removes Unique's connect and eliminates her competition on the south side, but it also forces the hand of the five families to buy through her. However, Rock faces fallout from Unique's retaliation, according to the episode 9 description. Therefore, I believe that Unique will steal Rock's shipment, which she just received at the beginning of this episode, just as we saw Marvin kill Quan at the beginning of the previous episode. I've also been asked who I think is shaking hands with Snaps and Pop at the basketball court in one of the Season 4 teasers. I already made a video about this, but in case you didn't see it, I definitely believe it to be Kanan and Unique. It could be before Kanan shows up at the tailor shop in the teaser clip, or it could be after, when Kanan and Unique officially go into business together. Snaps and Pop would then be in a similar position as they were with Ronnie and Kanan's business, getting a cut of the whole pie, like Unique promised, instead of just Kanan's portion under Rock's arrangement. At some point, Kanan is going to find out the truth, that Snaps and Pop were behind putting down Famous. Unique might even help set up Snaps and Pop for Kanan and Jukebox to kill. Because if they're taxing his business and then they're taken off the board, that benefits him too. No more tax to pay. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories and predictions in the comments.